Hi, you guys. Welcome to this episode of Radiant Womanhood. It is time to get unstuck. And I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm banging my elbow on the table for this episode because what I want for you today from this episode is that you're no longer stuck in a cycle of depression or no longer stuck in a state of paralyzation from uncertainty, no longer stuck in anxiety or loneliness or fear. It's time for action, imperfect action. And friend, I know you have it in you. We're going to get into what even that looks like or sounds like. Let's go. What I want to share today is feelings are not facts. How you feel today doesn't tell you the truth. Feelings don't really care what the truth is. Feelings choose the easy route, one of comfort and ease, usually. But it doesn't necessarily mean peace. Let me tell you what that means. If feelings say, I don't feel like doing that right now, it's hard. I'm unsure or I'm unskilled. No one wants to hear what I have to say. No one likes me. It's easier to stay here. It's easier to give up, to throw my hands up. It's easier to let those dreams slide sometimes, let those passions wither. Those are feelings, but that is not truth. Now, there may be some truth within your feelings, but your feelings aren't necessarily revealing the truth about you. Your feelings are not your facts. Sure, there's a comfort at times in not taking a step, but that doesn't make for a comfortable future. Sure, it's easy to give up on those dreams, but that doesn't make life easy. What you're doing in those moments is exchanging one moment of comfort for a future of passion, of joy, of purpose. So I'm going to get into sharing just what that means or what I mean by differentiating your feelings from your facts, your feelings from the truth. But when we allow our feelings to help us take the easy route out, we're allowing that to derail us from that future. Like I said, sometimes we want to stay comfortable and we let our feelings dictate our choices. We let our feelings dictate our actions. And so we choose like a temporary, what feels like comfort or being comfortable for a future that we really wanted. It's like the saying, and I know we've seen it all around, choose your hard. It might be easier to pull through the drive-through at this moment in time, but in time, a habit of that brings another form of hard to your life because it affects your health. I am not saying that to say that I never pull through the drive-through because I am that person. But I'm talking about choices, consistent choices and habits and routines. Choose your hard. I'm also not saying that feelings aren't real. Hear me out here. We know that feelings are real. The feelings themselves are real, but it doesn't mean that they always carry the truth or they always carry the truth about you. What do I mean when I say that? We can truly feel at times like no one hears me. We can truly feel at times like no one understands me. No one wants to get to know me. I'm not valid. I'm not worthy of these friendships or this relationship. There are a lot of feelings that we can have, and the feelings are real. But that doesn't mean that what the feelings are saying is the truth about me or the truth about you. So here's what I know and what I want for you to know today. What I want for you to, when we're done listening to this episode, when you're done driving today, when you're done going on your morning walk with your earbuds in and listening to this episode, this is what I want you to know. When you're feeling stuck, when things are feeling like they suck, they're feeling sucky, it is time to take action. So what does that look like? How do I know what to do? Or what if it's hard? Just want to say, yep, exactly. We don't know what to do. We don't always know what that looks like. And it probably will be hard. Taking action is difficult. It is hard. We all know from physics that it's a lot harder and takes a lot more force for an object that is not in motion to begin motion than it is for an object already in motion to stay in motion, right? And the same goes for you and messy, imperfect action. The first action you take probably won't be the right one. It probably will be difficult, especially to start, especially at the beginning. And that's okay. If you've been listening to this podcast, the Radiant Woman podcast, for a while, you might remember the story that I told about our family being around the dinner table and asking my kids what they failed at that day and how the strange looks that I got. They were all wondering, what is mom asking this for? But it started with strange looks, and then it turned into sharing, and that turned into me celebrating that. Why? Because we need to make failing a normal part of life, because we will fail. But what that also means is that we are doing something. We are taking action. We are in motion and not stuck. There's a philosopher, I believe his name is Seneca, and there's this saying, and I know that we've heard it, but he's credited with saying it first: luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And this is such a repeated phrase. It's one that shows up on Instagram and Pinterest and all these things. What is it saying? It's saying that hard work or action can create the conditions for what we call luck to flourish. But what if we flip that saying around for just a minute? What if we kind of look at it backwards or the other way? So sometimes when we're in this season of life where we feel like, man, things aren't going right, I just feel stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do next. What do I do when I don't know what to do? What do I do when I feel stuck? What do I do when things feel bad, or I feel like maybe it's just been this stream or stroke of bad luck? It might not be bad luck that you've seen in your life. It could just be inaction and a lack of preparation. That is turning that phrase around, right? It could just be inaction. It could be a lack of preparation in our life. When we're moving, when we're taking action, which the definition of the word action is just the fact or process of doing something, typically to achieve an aim. When we are in action, when we're taking action, we are putting ourselves in places. We are putting ourselves in front of others. We are putting ourselves into the path of opportunity. And when we're doing something, anything towards a goal or towards an aim, what does that do? I talked about it before in our episode about the vision board, and we can link that down in the show notes, but it actually activates a part of our brain to look for and to see things differently. When we take action towards a goal, when we take action in our lives, even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, even if we don't know what we're doing, or we're taking some kind of messy action towards a goal or an aim, we are helping ourselves to really be able to see the opportunities before us. It's like it's opening up a whole new world. It doesn't necessarily mean it's creating opportunities or creating luck, but it creates this new way of us to see what actually is before us. And it opens up a whole new world of opportunities to us. It moves us into a position and a place for, like I said, what we call luck to happen. So what I want to encourage you today is, if you feel like you've been in that place of being stuck, if you feel like you've been in that place of, I don't know my next step or what to do next, I feel like anything I do might be wrong. Okay, take action. Do it wrong, do it messy, do it imperfect, but show up for yourself. Show up for those goals. Show up for that aim, that direction, that passion that you have inside of you, and just start doing something. It might be wrong at first, and that's okay. Here are 4 lessons that I want to share with you that when we embrace action, imperfect action, they cause these ripple effects in our lives to change. I am confident that you're going to find them in your own life when you start to take that leap forward. The first one is that we experience growth through action. Learning is activated through action and reflection. By diving into action, doing something, you gain this firsthand experience. You gain the insights into what works and what doesn't. And that just paves the way for growth. Number 2, what does action do? It helps us build confidence and skill, or even confidence in a new skill. Experience is that foundation of confidence and that skill development. So each action you take adds to your reservoir of experience, and it empowers you to tackle new challenges. Remember this, you weren't born knowing how to crawl or how to walk. And when you were learning, your parents weren't angry, at least most weren't. Your parents were angry when you fell. They weren't angry because of those wobbly legs or put you down for it or those first steps. No, what was it? That was celebrated. No matter how small those first steps were, no matter how wobbly they were, no matter how much you needed help and support during that time growth in your life, it was offered and it was given and it was celebrated. 1 step, 2 steps, fall down. That's okay. This is exciting. You're doing it. Get back up. Let's go. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, fall down. That's okay. Come on. You've got this. Let's go. And that's kind of what I was talking about with celebrating failures. What that is it's showing us that we are doing something. We are learning something. We are growing. That means that you're taking steps to learn something new, to walk in a new direction. So celebrate it. Celebrate those little wobbly steps and even the times when we fall down. Because knowing that this is building confidence, this is building a new skill, this is me taking action, doing something imperfect and on my way to something even bigger. And that's where we started. We started with crawling and not doing that well, kind of just scooching along the floor. And then we started with walking and not doing that well. But then that led to learning that new skill and becoming experienced and confident in it. And then that led to running. And then that led to skipping. That's where my littlest ones are now. Like they've just learned kind of how to skip and hop. And it's so exciting. And it's so exciting for them because they've put in the effort. They've put in the action. They've put in the steps to learn this new thing that they couldn't do a year ago. Were they confident in that a year ago? Not at all. But it took doing it through the experience of doing the thing. That's how the learning is done. And it's also proof that you don't have to let your feelings control your outcome, that you don't have to let your feelings control your choices, that you don't have to let your feelings control what it is that you do. Can you imagine if every time a little one was learning to walk and they fell, then they just felt like, well, I'm a failure. I can't do that. I might as well just give up now. I mean, none of us would be walking. But instead, don't let your feelings in the moment of falling down, in the moment of not knowing what to do, in the moment of, I'm not sure actually how to take that next step, control those choices. Control what it is that you do, which in turn controls your outcome. Your feelings aren't your facts. The third thing that action does is it brings clarity. So in the middle of the hustle and the bustle of action of doing, clarity emerges. You start to learn how to discern what aligns with your goals and what doesn't. And that's what I am referring to when I talk about we don't always know what to do next. But when we begin to say, I'm going to take a step towards this thing anyway, I'm going to start moving and taking action and showing up, even if it's messy and even if it's imperfect, as we start to take those steps, then we can say, okay, this one aligns with my goal, but maybe this one not so much. This thing that I'm doing is moving the needle on this aim, on this goal that I have, but in this one, maybe not so much. And then we can adjust, but take action. And the fourth thing that action does is it helps foster creativity. When we embrace imperfection or imperfect action and then we explore new avenues, that fuels creativity. It helps lead us to a wealth of ideas and ultimately breakthrough moments, which is what I want for you. I want you, when you're feeling stuck, to have those breakthrough moments. I want you to feel when you are feeling like you don't know where to go or what to do next or down, I want you to have a breakthrough moment. And knowing that the way I'm feeling right now isn't the fact. It isn't the truth about me. So I'm going to take messy, imperfect action. And as I do, I might fall, but I'm going to celebrate that I'm taking action anyway and keep moving forward. And as I do, I'm going to understand that I'm going to see clarity on what is the right steps to take once I start taking those steps. And as I'm in action, as I'm showing up for myself and taking imperfect action, I'm going to have new creative ideas that bring these breakthrough moments. friend, today, I want you to shed the fear of imperfection and dive into action. It is a surefire path to failing. Yes. But also to then learning from that failure or that falling down and growing into purpose and power and success. I don't want you to stay stagnant. I don't want you to feel lost. I don't want you to feel lonely and stuck. I want you to feel like you are living life fully. Living life fully means, yes, falling down and getting back up. But instead of being paralyzed by the feeling of fear that you'll choose the wrong thing, take action. A lot of times that does look like choosing the wrong thing until you choose the right thing. So think about this today. What feelings have been stopping me? Ask yourself that question. You can do it out loud if you want to, or just in your mind for a moment, but just sit there and say, what feelings have been stopping me? What feelings have I been having that maybe kept me from reaching out to someone I was thinking about and wanted to talk to? What feelings have stopped me from writing the pitch that I wanted to send? What feelings have stopped me from creating something new? What feelings have stopped me from booking the class or whatever it is? What are the feelings that have been stopping you? Show yourself that your feelings aren't facts. Show yourself that action leads to more action, which leads to the breakthrough you've been looking for. Show yourself the proof that you don't have to wait for your feelings to line up with your facts. You can take action first. And then you get to celebrate because that breakthrough is coming. And pretty soon your feelings are going to start to turn around. I believe in you, and I am so excited that you're here today, listening to this today. I would love if you let me know that you were listening because I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to take those messy, imperfect action steps towards your breakthrough.